Hey there, fight fans. Welcome back to Takedown MMA. Marlon Vera takes on Cory Sandhagen at UFC San Antonio this weekend in a cracking bantamweight fight, which has the MMA world talking. In today's video, we'll take a look at fighter predictions for Vera versus Sandhagen and Chito's incredible story, plus more. Marlon Vera versus Cory Sandhagen fighter predictions. With UFC 286 in the rearview mirror, the focus of the MMA world is now on the potential bantamweight title eliminator between Marlon Vera and Cory Sandhagen at UFC San Antonio this weekend. Vera is gradually turning into a legend killer in the bantamweight division, with two of his last three wins coming against Frankie Edgar and Dominic Cruz, and he starts both of them in a devastating manner. Cory Sandhagen returned to the win column in his most recent fight against Song Yadong after back-to-back defeats against TJ Dillashaw and Peter Yan. A win will put either fighter in pole position to fight for the title. Although he's scheduled to defend his title against Henry Cejudo, bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling will be keeping a close eye on the matchup. Alhio thinks a competitive fight and both men have a good chance of taking it, but Vera winning by stompage is more likely.
If I'm looking at this as a bettor, I'm betting on Cory Sandhagen. I'm not betting on Chito to win. But I do know if I'm going to hedge my bet, I'm going to hedge my bet with maybe Chito winning by knockout, or not knockout, by TKO.
Sean O'Malley thinks a 5-round fight in a small cage favors Chito Vera.
Yeah, I think Cory's going to bounce around, be fast. People look good against Chito early. I feel like everyone kind of wins those initial rounds. Frankie Edgar won 14 minutes of the fight and then got head kicked by the fucking, that goddamn toe. It's a big ass Chito. So I don't know, five rounds, small cage, I would say benefits Chito.
Henry Cejudo doesn't really agree with Sean O'Malley. He thinks Chito Vera is nothing special, and he doesn't have the skills to beat someone like Cory Sandhagen, who's far superior when it comes to striking. The only way Vera can win this fight is if he wrestles, but that's not going to happen.
For Chito Vera, I just think he's just a journeyman. They've only reached a certain point, they can only take it to a certain point. But that being said, if I had to bet my money, if I had to put my money somewhere, I have Cory Sandhagen by either stoppage or winning by unanimous decision.
Cory Stamann agrees with Henry Cejudo, but he's not going as far as calling him a journeyman and whatnot. For Stamann, Sandhagen is the better fighter, but Marlon Vera is tough as nails and he won't go down without a fight. Chito's ability to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat is second to none, and he has the potential to do the same against Sandhagen as well. But still, Sandhagen has the edge heading into this one.
Sandhagen, honestly, I think he's better, in so many ways, and he's long, so I think it's really going to give. He's going to give Chito a lot of problems because Chito does fight really, really well against a shorter guy. But Sandhagen and him are looking eye to eye. It's going to be. I think he's going to hit Chito a ton. But Chito's that guy you can't count out of a fight. You know what I mean? You've seen him losing fights so many times in the past and then come back and he pulls it off somehow. You know what I mean? He was on the scorecards probably losing that last one against Dominic Cruz and he pulled it out. Rob Font probably losing that fight on the scorecards, pulls it out. So you can't count Chito out, but honestly, I think Sandhagen is the better fighter and should win the fight.
Why Marlon Vera is unbreakable. Call him a journeyman or whatever you may, Marlon Vera is the toughest fighter on the UFC roster. There is literally no one he's afraid of and nothing that can break him. That's because unlike most of his peers, he's fighting for a greater cause. Vera's goals have little to do with fame, glory, or the history books. He just wants to do the best for his family, especially his daughter Anna, who was born with the rare neurological condition Mobius syndrome, which left her unable to smile. The moment Anna was born, Vera decided to put his heart and soul into making his daughter's life the best he could.
Everything just changed on my mind. The way I see things, the way I approach things, this hunger came out of me. I was like, from now on, nothing is about me and nothing will never be. I gotta make things happen for my daughter. I'm gonna win fights, I'm gonna make money and pay the surgery for Anna so she can smile.
From Ecuador to the United States, the Ultimate Fighter, Latin America, and eventually the UFC, the journey wasn't easy for the top bantamweight contender. Vera had a great start to TUF by a brutal kick knockout, but a skin infection forced him out of the tournament. His history was too incredible to be ignored, and Dana White gave him another opportunity to prove himself. Vera made his promotional debut at UFC 180 in 2014, where he lost. His start wasn't ideal, but he was still in his early 20s at the time, and despite a few losses, he managed to remain a part of the UFC roster. By 2018, Vera had gathered enough funds to go ahead with his daughter's surgery, which was a success. Seeing his daughter smile for the first time lit a fire under Chito to succeed, and since then he's been unstoppable with 10 victories and 2 defeats. Prior to that, he was 4-4 in the UFC. In his wife's words, their daughter's smile is the most important thing in their lives, and Vera would never have been the fighter that he is today without his daughter.
It was the most important thing in our life, but I believe that Anna came to this world to give that purpose to Chito. Like, no matter what, I'm gonna be there just to see my daughter smile. That was his main purpose. He's in this position now because of Anna. Like, Anna pushed him through that. Like, every sacrifice that he made for us is just worth it.
Vera's story is indeed inspirational, but a UFC title will be the icing on the cake for him. The odds will be against him when he steps inside the octagon against Cory Sandhagen, but the Ecuadorian has made overcoming the odds a habit. Compared to everything Vera has endured in his life, cage fighting is probably the least intimidating for him. Will Marlon Vera add Cory Sandhagen to his list of vanquished foes at UFC San Antonio? Colby Covington wants racist Belal Muhammad out of the UFC. Colby Covington has accused Belal Muhammad of being a racist after the latter said that Mr. Chaos is getting a welterweight title shot simply because he's white. Covington made a surprise return during the UFC 286 weigh-ins, where it was revealed that he would serve as the backup for the welterweight title fight between Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. The fight went as planned, of course, and Edwards managed to retain his title with a clinical performance. Later in the day, Dana White dropped a major bombshell saying that Covington will fight Edwards next, and the UFC president's comments angered quite a lot of people, especially Belal Muhammad, who thinks Covington is getting special treatment because he's white. Covington was asked about Muhammad's tweet in a recent interview.
I'm not going to pick some kid up who's at the very bottom of the prelims. You know, you got to earn your way up here, and that guy's racist, man. He was saying that the only reason this happened is because I'm white. How is that? I was going to ask you about that. What did you think about him deleting the tweet? That's despicable. That's fucking disgusting, man. I would never say that and use someone's color of their skin by that's why they got that done. Disgusting, man. He should be literally fined and kicked out of the UFC.
And he responded by saying that he's a racist who should be kicked out of the UFC. Covington is pretty ruthless himself when it comes to trash talking, and he rose to fame after calling Brazilians quote-unquote filthy animals after his win over Aljamain Maia in São Paulo in 2017. Despite the fact that he has crossed some lines in his career, Covington claims that he'd never go as far as to racially abuse someone.
But I would never say something so stupid because it has nothing to do with that ever. You know, I don't care what color of the skin you are, man. That's not what I look into. I look at like the integrity inside your heart, you know, the person that you are, you know, I look at other things, you know, how smart you are. It's just disgusting, man.
What do you make of Colby Covington's accusations against Belal Muhammad? Give us your thoughts in the comments below. That's it for today. If you liked our video, please subscribe to our channel and smash the notifications button so you get notified the next time we upload one. Thanks a ton for watching, and we'll see you next time.